Hey YouTube comic community, this is Jimmy the Geek Aficionado, and I have got part 2 of my road trip video to share with you. And these are the books that I picked up in Nashville on my road trip excursion. I'm on my way back to Illinois, and my morning there, I hit a couple of stores on the way out, as well as one of my just the most magical places that I've ever been, and that's Gruen Guitar in Nashville. I'll share some pictures of Gruen Guitar at the end, and just it's for those of you who are musicians or music fans, the place is just amazing with an incredible collection of old vintage guitars that. That like I said, they're just spectacular. I was kind of breathless walking in there. I did get to play an $8,000 Fender Stratocaster while I was in there, of course with kid gloves. So it was a lot of fun for me. But let's get to the comics. First store I went to is called Great Escape, and for those of you who haven't been there, it's like a resale place. It's mostly like a record store, and it reminds me a lot of like a Half Price Books or a Second and Charles. I tried to be able to trade some of the keys that I had there, and they had a guy come over. I spent some time in the store looking around, finding some things, and they had a guy come over and look at the books that I brought in, and he basically was looking to offer me 25 cents on the dollar for everything that I brought in. So $500 worth of books. He wanted to offer me about 125 for in trade. So needless to say, that was a hard pass. But I did pick up a few books while I was in there. These are ones I just couldn't walk away from. There were some overpriced Batmans that I did walk away from, but I did pick up these. I got another copy of Daredevil number 81. This is the first issue with Black Widow in the Daredevil. And for those of you who are wondering why is he picking up so many copies of Daredevil 81, that will become clearer once you start watching some of the Lords of the Long Box videos. So this is a spec buy, but it's also just a good book to have no matter what, because it's a change point in the Daredevil storyline. Trying to finish off my Masters of Kung Fu run, I got issue 52 and 70, so I'm just missing a handful at the top end and then some more in the 50s. This one's a huge one for those of you who are Master of Kung Fu or Iron Fist fans. This is the first appearance in comics of the Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi, and the Iron Fist. They did appear initially in the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu magazine, but this is the first comic book appearance with the two of them together in the book. As I mentioned in the previous video, I picked up Son of Satan number 1, and it was one of the last two that I needed, and I got the final book that I needed of the series, which is not very many books. I think it's like 8 or 9. So this is Son of Satan number 7. And this, I was just taken aback. It's in gorgeous condition. I'm loving the heck out of it. But I never had one before. It's Judge Dredd number 1 from Eagle Comics. So this is not the first appearance of Judge Dredd. He first appeared in a UK magazine called 2000 AD. But this is the first issue of the first series in comic book format that was published for Judge Dredd. It was $20. It was well worth it. It's in great shape. It's a solid 9.4, 9.6. And it's just, I'm really glad I got it. But the absolute best thing that they had in the store, and it was certainly something I couldn't pass up. If you've followed my Instagram, you guys have already seen it. But this is a book that was featured by DS Comics. And as soon as he showed it, I was just like, oh my gosh, I got to find this. And astonishingly saw it in the store. It's Web of Horror. I don't recall the issue number off the top of my head. I want to say it's 1. It might be 6. I'm not certain. But it's the first cover by Bernie Wrightson. And it's just the fantastic shot of this Yeti that he's created. In the backside, also beautiful. It's a complete version of this print without the Web of Horror titling and it lurks, up in the corner. So it's just absolutely gorgeous. It wasn't really expensive either, and it's gonna pull back probably a solid 7 to 8 when I grade it. It's just pretty. It's super pretty. So that's it for that store. So that's Great Escape. That was in Nashville. On my way out, a little bit farther north, heading up the highway, we hit another store. Finding some more to finish off my Usagi Yojimbo run. This is issue number 10 with, I believe that's Leonardo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. One of the few crossovers that they had back then, which is really cool because they weren't really from the same print. But Usagi appears in Turtle Soup issue before this. But it's Fantagraphics, but it's also Mirage Studios, which is what published the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the early 80s there. And then we have Usagi Yojimbo number 15. Now, I've already got a copy of this book, and I've got it in a 9.6 mounted on the wall, but it's nice to have a reader copy. This is Usagi Yojimbo number 1. This is the first issue of the series following his debut in Albedo number 2. So glad I got a reader copy of that, so it helps out and makes things nice for me. Loving the Wrightson. Found this guy. It was like $10, $15, something like that. But it's a Bernie Wrightson House of Mystery number 231 with his werewolf guy. And then we've got some Marvel Spotlights. This is issue number 15 featuring Son of Satan, Needs a Press. Issue number 16 as well. So issue 12 was the beginning of the Marvel Spotlight series for Son of Satan, and I believe it ran through issue 20. So I've almost got them all. I've got a couple left, I think, and that's all I need for the Son of Satans. Saving the best for last, though, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, issue number 6. This was priced a little high, but I was able to talk him down. Again, another store that didn't have somebody there that could do any trades with me, so I didn't end up bringing those out, but I did pick up a few things for a good price. I think all these books were like less than $100. Just super happy with the haul that I brought back. And when you're out there hunting around, make sure you're asking, make sure you're getting good prices on things. There's a lot of times the mark price is the offer, because they're aware that people are going to be trying to haggle with them, especially on the older books, especially when there's play in the condition, and they're most times willing to make a deal. So keep that in mind when you're out there hunting, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.